Hello, everyone. I'm Bill, and welcome to Bill's Odds and Ends. If this is your first time here, be sure and subscribe and click on that bell icon to be notified of all of my new videos. Also, give this video a thumbs up as it really helps the channel out. And now, on with the video.
I have no idea how I'm doing in time, but it doesn't matter. I gotta put my old man glasses on. Wait a minute. I've literally become my dad, where I have glasses in every single room in the house. So, by a show of hands, I want to know how many times you've been to Walt Disney World. So, if you've been to Walt Disney World 1 to 5 times or more, raise your hand. Okay? If you've been 10 to 20 times, keep your hand up. You are my people. If you've been up to 50 times, keep your hand up. Whoa. Who's been more than 100 times? Wow. So you guys, do you live there? Do you just live you live at Disney? No, you don't. You want to live at Disney. You live in Lincoln. It's like right down the street. Was it not the best move you ever made, moving to Disney World? Who, if they could, would move to Disney? I will tell you, and I'm going to do a show, I promise, but I will tell you that moving to Orlando was the best thing I ever did, even taking Disney out of the equation. Like, you guys are super nice, but it's super chill down in Orlando. And oh, by the way, there's no state income tax. So if you were on the fence before, there you go. So what I thought I would do today is share with you 10-ish things you didn't know you could do while you're at Walt Disney World. And that's why I asked, you guys who've been to the parks already, who thinks they've seen and done everything there is to do at Disney? No. Who thinks they've eaten everywhere there is to eat at Disney? This body doesn't happen naturally, people. This is all a lot of research trips to Disney. I'm doing this for you. It's not because I like eating. What's my favorite restaurant? Steve Schussel would be so proud at the response. So yes, I may or may not cover food while we're here, and then maybe we'll do a little bit of trivia, and then if we have time, do some Q&A. So. Who has ever taken a tour at Disney World? Who's ever taken a tour? What's the best tour? What tour did you take that was awesome? Wild Africa Trek. Who's ever taken a Wild Africa Trek? If you have never done that, I will tell you, that is far away. I've done it 2 times already. If you're 12 years of age or older, it is an experience that it takes you onto the safari in a very immersive storytelling environment. You wear a harness, you hover over the crocodiles, like how cool is that? And the hippo pool, and then of course they feed you at the end, which was like my favorite part. That was a surprise, I had no idea. It was so good. Beautiful view of the savannas. Anybody ever take Backstage Magic? Do a Backstage Magic tour? That's an 8-hour tour that you can take, that takes you to creative costuming, textile services, you do lunch at Whispering Canyon. But for me, when you get to go and see central shops where they actually build the attraction vehicles and the props and the sets, you really get a sense of just how the magic comes together without actually spoiling it. And if you go there now, they have a room probably about this size with floor-to-ceiling drapes and security guards around it, because that's where they're building all the stuff for Galaxy's Edge. Right? Brains falling. Who's excited for Galaxy's Edge? I never would have thought there were Star Wars nerds in this here. One of the ones that you can do with your family, that's one of my favorites, again, in the Lou Mongello wheelhouse, is the Disney Family Culinary Adventure, which is sort of what I call every trip to Walt Disney World. You get to go spend the evening with Disney chefs, you learn cooking techniques from them, and then enjoy not 1, not 2, not a 5-course dinner that you and the chefs help prepare. It sounds like a lot of work to me, but I'm just there, honestly, for the food. You learn a lot of different French cooking techniques, which words I cannot pronounce. But again, there's food at the end, which is probably what all of my tours have. Who's been to Fort Wilderness and the Tri-Circle D Ranch? Have you ever gone there and seen all the connections to Walt Disney? So there's an Escape to Walt's Wilderness tour that takes you through the campground. They do on a horse-drawn wagon tour. You also learn how to do archery and then go to the horse barn to see some of the horses. There's also a Savor the Savannah tour. Yes, all of these tours have food at the end. Animal Kingdom is always Animal Kingdom hot, especially in Florida, but you can do a Savor the Savannah tour where not only you go on a private private safari in the evening, but they feed you once again, Undiscovered Future World. There's also everybody ever ride a Segway? Not as easy as it looks on TV. It's hard, isn't it? Thank you. I don't feel as uncoordinated as I did the first time I did it. But they do a Segway tour in Fort Wilderness where you actually get on like this four-wheeler, by the way, thank the Phoenicians. I love your shirt. You get on this sort of four-wheel drive off-road Segway that takes you through some of the marshy areas and this creepy cabin in the woods that was there when Disney bought the property, and it looks like something out of like a horror movie. I talked on a recent episode about the Disney Institute. Do you remember the old Disney Institute from the late 80s, early 90s, where you could go to Walt Disney World? You've been there? You stayed there. Like you were one of the very few. Like, because nobody stayed there, and that's why I failed. But who doesn't want to go to, kids, don't you want to go to Walt Disney World and learn how to do stuff? Of course you don't. On paper, nobody does, but you can. There's lots of learning opportunities, including many, many sports that I am not good at. So adding to the list of things that Lou Mongello should not be allowed to do, you can learn how to do scuba diving. Anybody? Scuba diving? Archery? Like it's pretty like Merida. Horseback riding. Surfing lessons. Anybody do surfing lessons at Typhoon Lagoon before? If you want to have a lot of fun and embarrass yourself on video, please don't ever Google Lou Mongello surfing lessons at Typhoon Lagoon. It's a ton of fun and you have the whole wave pool to yourself. But in theory, most people can get up all the way in. Water skiing, golf, foot golf. Again, I like to eat. If you go to Amaret's Patisserie, they have a 90-minute pastry class that you can learn how to do all of those fancy, delicious pastries. I'm going to skip to the good stuff. I'm going to go to the dining-related stuff. We hear all the time about different restaurants having secret menus. Who knows that Walt Disney World, a lot of restaurants have their own little secret menus? Who's ever ordered off a secret menu item?
I haven't done it yet.
You haven't done it yet? Where do you know of? What restaurant?
All-Star.
Sanaa? Listen, Sanaa is worth the drive just for bread service alone.
Yeah.
It's so far away, but so worth the drive. So for example, a lot of the restaurants, including counter service restaurants, have secret menus. And one of my favorites is if you go to All-Star, the world premiere food court, who's ever stayed there? They have one of the coolest ones because if you ask about the secret menu, they bring out, a guy comes out of the back with this suitcase, like handcuffed to his hand, like James Bond, and inside is a Viewmaster. And there's secret menu items there, including, get ready, poutine. Do you guys have poutine up here? Anyone poutine lovers? Oh, Body by Poutine right here. They have poutine, a bacon mac and cheese hot dog, and it sounds gross, but I swear it's awesome. They have a hamburger served on a cinnamon roll. Elisa, don't give me the gross face. It's awesome and it's healthy. It's good for you. It's got cinnamon and rolls and protein. It's a lot of protein. You can dine with, anybody ever done the Dine with an Imagineer program? That is awesome, right? Is that not one of the best experiences? You could do that at, now you can do it at Hollywood Brown Derby, and you can do it at Citrico's. It's a 4-course meal, very, very small group at a table where you get to spend a lot of one-on-one time with the Imagineer, sort of picking their brains, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but you get a cool takeaway at the end as well. Anybody ever been to Morimoto, Asia? All of you should be raising your hands at this point. If you haven't done it, you need to go, and if you can't find it, hit me up on Messenger, I'll meet you there.
He hasn't said the good one yet.
Because I promise it, I'm a giver, I'll do that for you. But there, they have certified Japanese Wagyu beef. Like it's so legit, they literally bring out a certificate, because I'm sure you can go to a lot of places, they say they have Wagyu beef. They bring it out and they sear it for you tableside, so you get a little bit of a show. Not the cheapest meal, it's about $25 per ounce. With a, are you gonna finish that? With a, oh, sorry. I'm starving, no, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. Who's been to Toy Story Land yet? Who waited for more than like 90 minutes to go into Toy Story Land? Okay, so the crowds have died down. You can actually now go to Toy Story Land before the park opened. For about $70, they have an early morning magic exclusive where you get in before the park opens. But really the thing that sold me was there's a breakfast buffet with like avocado toast, fried chicken, and cronuts with maple glaze. I don't even need to buy the swirling saucers. I'm just there for the breakfast. And I saw somebody had an I'm just here for the food shirt, so thank you for whoever. There she goes, right there. I'm just here for the snacks. Who has ever taken their son or daughter to get a little perfectly princess makeover at the Castle Couture shop? And who had it rain that same day, and next thing you know, it's bleeding all the way down their faces. It makes so many magical moments all in once. Adults, you guys can do that too. Disney recently introduced something called caricature. I speak for a living, I swear. It's character couture, where you don't have to be a kid anymore. Adults and kids of all ages, women and men can go in, and you don't select from a menu of characters. You can pick any Disney character you want, and they'll do the hair, the makeup, the nails, whatever. I interviewed one of them once. I'm like, can guys do that too? And she's like, oh yeah. I'm like, can you make me Spider-Man? She's like, oh yeah. I'm like, I will see you in a couple of weeks. So I will have a video. It's going to be so embarrassing of me becoming Spider-Man, hopefully in a couple of weeks. Let's see. So in addition to things that obviously you can pay to do, how about a couple of freebies? Who likes freebies at Walt Disney World? So I want to give you, I told you this was not a top 10 list. Oh my God, I'm running out of time. I will give you a few things that you can do, buy, eat, collect, or save for free, which is not normally a word that's associated with Disney. Who has ever collected all the transportation cards?
Got a
A
few.
few? So if you ride the monorail, the boats, the ferries, any sort of transportation vehicle, and ask a cast member, they have a series of, I think it's still 12 to 14 collectible transportation cards that are free and they're super cool. They're super, super cool. Anybody ever do the campfire sing-along? Oh my gosh, you guys are missing out. Do you even go to Disney World? So if you go to Fort Wilderness, which I know is really, really far away, they have a Chippendale campfire sing-along, which is completely free, and you can get s'mores, whatever they call them. Port Orleans has a campfire on the bayou and a Cajun campfire on Old Man Island by the Sassagoula Rivers. Again, there's no characters there, but it's free. They've got storytellers, they do face painting. Again, all that stuff is free, and you don't need to be staying there. Who's a fan of the Polynesian? Who's ever stayed at the Polynesian? That's nice. Who's ever stayed at the bungalow? Who wants to invite me to stay with them at a bungalow? Because those are so nice. But I would never leave. I would just spend all my time at the bungalow. Anybody ever seen the torch lighting ceremony at the Polynesian? That is something neat to see. Every night from Tuesday to Saturday at 6 o'clock, they do a fire dancer from the Spirit of Aloha show comes out, and they do a very traditional torch lighting ceremony. Anybody ever meet Auntie Kauai inside the lobby of the Polynesian? You ever take the hula lessons from Auntie Kauai? You want to though, don't you? I'm looking at you. I say, not you, your husband behind you wants to do hula lessons. You can take hula lessons Monday through Saturday at 3:45 or Saturday mornings. The Auntie Kauai is about 176 years old. Like, I think she was just there when they built the Polynesian, but she gives free hula lessons. Saturdays are more for kids, but it is a lot of fun. And the classes last like 2 hours. You can kind of come and go as you need. Anybody ever been to the fire pit? Speaking of fire, anybody been to the fire pit out at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge for the storyteller at night? And the night vision goggles so you can look out and pick your meal for the next day off the savannah. I mean, at least I thought that's what it was supposed to be. I find that Disney frowns on you jumping into the savannah, but you don't need to be staying there. I know hands are gonna go up for this because a lot of you were here last year. Who loves Yeehaw Bob?
Oh, yeah.
If you've never seen Yeehaw Bob at the River Roost Lounge, stop what you're doing when you get there and go. I think he's there from Tuesday to Friday nights. He is the hardest working cast member you will ever find, and it's a completely fun, family-friendly show, and they have food at the River Roost Lounge. Anybody ever seen the horse barn at the Tri-Circle D Ranch? You've ever seen the Dragon Calliope that's there?
Yes.
Yes. So if you go to Tricycle D Ranch, you don't need to be staying there. You can tour the horse barn, your kids can pet some of the animals, and there's a cool dragon calliope there that Disney bought in the 50s. It was used in the film who's ever actually seen or heard of Toby Tyler? Like one guy, right? Well, if you go back and watch Toby Tyler, that's the calliope that was used, but there's also a lot of Walt Disney photos there in terms of him and his love of horses. I could go on and on about more things to do, but I would rather give you something for free. I couldn't bring them all with me. So if you guys go to wdwradio.com, I have a free book. It's 102 things. Wait, I have to remember, what's it called? It's 102 things to do at, don't laugh, I'm old. 102 things to do at Walt Disney World at least once. It's completely free, and if you just go to the home page, you can download the book from there.
Extreme close-up.
Doing it again.
Yeah, throw her in the jail.
No, man, I'm taking
Throw
them
her
home
up
with
on
me.
the Death Star.
You've been replaced, dude.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. I love you all. Make sure you keep in touch on YouTube, on Facebook, okay? And you guys can watch me every day. We have a boy up here, everybody. We have two boys up here, two great boys. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your time, everybody. And come see me at the table. I'd love to give you hugs and a little signature or whatever you guys want to do, okay? We'll chat over there, right? Bye, guys. Thanks again.
You guys make it go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, so we know you're just here for the Disney vacation, but
We
we'll
don't
try to entertain
count
you for
for
the next
anything.
30
It's fine.
minutes.
We understand.
All right, let's get
Yeah.
behind the speakers here. Pam does send her regards for those folks that listen to our show. She was really brokenhearted
Absolutely.
that she couldn't make it out this year. She loves this event. She has been world traveling over the past couple of weeks,
She
actually
has.
about a month. She spent a little time in Europe doing an Adventures by Disney river cruise.
She went to Budapest.
Budapest, that's
Come
right.
on. Yeah.
So here's the question I have for everybody, and we'll get introductions and we'll get into it kind of like what we do on our shows. But just so Pam feels better, because we're live on Facebook, so she can check this out.
Right.
When you get home from your Disney vacation, whether it's Disneyland, cruise, probably not so much for a cruise, but especially Walt Disney World, how many people get the Disney bug and get sick? Okay, so there we go, Pam. You're just living your best Disney life.
I get sick on my Disney trip, and
That's-
Pam has seen that happen.
There's
so-
something wrong with that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay, so let me introduce my co-host. She keeps the show going. She comes up with the topics. She keeps us on track.
Well,
It's Ricky Niblett. She's in charge of the mouseforless.com, a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com, and she's a big blogger over at touringplans.com. So let's hear it for Ricky.
I'm so excited to be here. This is one of my favorite things to do. You know, I come up from Atlanta every year so that I can be here in Indiana. So I love that we get to come up and hang out with you guys, because you know this is so much fun, and I love that we get to help raise money for Give Kids the World, which is, those of you who listen to our podcast know, Give Kids the World is such a place that is near and dear to my heart. Every year we put together a 12-hour live show, as you saw the presentation, and that's kind of my baby. So it's a place that I absolutely adore, and I'm so blessed that we get to help raise funds for Give Kids the World. So thank you to everyone who has donated here or on our podcast or whatever, because we're helping change lives for kids, and that's the whole point. So
Absolutely. We know that with the Disney podcast community, Lou was up here earlier. You had Behind the Ears. There's all kinds of podcasts here. It's amazing that the passion that our listeners have, and that the support and the kindness they give to Give Kids the World. We appreciate that so much. You guys are awesome. So thank you to everybody who's donated to any of the shows and who's bid on items today to donated money. It's amazing. Also, before we start our little 10, 15-minute mini show we're going to do, I want to thank Aaron and everybody from Magical Wishes for Kids for always inviting us out because they are awesome. So thank you to everybody who let us come up here.
They are. Incredible.
All right, so we're going to do a show about food. Let's just talk about food.
We
it's
are
dinner
starving
time.
right now. Let me tell you, I'm ready for dinner. So
if you listen to the Be Our Guest podcast, you know I eat dinner around 4:30 every day.
He's an old man. It's fine.
I try to bring down the average age at the restaurants that I visit, and I also get my food a little cheaper before 6.
Yes, he does. Or he stops at Taco Bell.
That's
right.
right.
There's that.
So we're going to talk about some of our favorite Disney snacks around property because an essential part of your Walt Disney World vacation is the perfect fast pass, the perfect touring plan, but most importantly, the perfect dining strategy, right?
Yes, of course. Absolutely.
All right, so we're going to talk about our favorite snacks, and we'll go park to park, and we're going to need some of your feedback too, so be ready, because I've been stumped today. We've been working on Facebook, talking to some of our listeners, and they've given us feedback, and some of these items are so new, I haven't had a chance to try them yet.
True.
That's right. So let's start with Epcot.
Okay.
Best snack in Epcot. You go first, and then we'll ask some of the folks in the crowd. Put you on the spot. If you get the right answer or wrong answer.
I know. There's no right or wrong answer.
There is.
With Disney food.
Always.
And Disney snacks. I'm just saying, there's no right or wrong answer. So, you know, I think that I'm going to go with kind of the tried and true Cronut, which is available at the Refreshment Port. And actually, it's going to be there's going to be a booth at Epcot Food and Wine that's all about the Cronut, I believe, this year too. It's at Taste Track, which is pretty cool. Different kinds of Cronuts with different toppings on them. But for those who don't know, the Cronut is, or I guess I should say, croissant donut, because we can't officially call it the Cronut. It's a layered croissant that is like, it's fried like a donut, and so the best part is it's got the flaky layers, and it's like you peel it off, and it's got cinnamon and sugar, and you just, it's so good. It's so decadent. I've had it for breakfast, which is the best time in the morning for a Cronut. No, it's not wrong. It's not wrong, I'm telling you.
You know, at Gift Gives the World, they have ice cream for breakfast.
They do have ice cream for breakfast at Gift Gives the World, yes.
You know what, let's try this.
So what's your pick of
Let's
the best?
do this. Let's make this into a contest.
Oh, no.
We'll see who has the better answer of us.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
Since Pam's not here, we have 50-50.
50-50 shot of winning. Okay, that's good.
And here's how I'm going to snake Ricky.
Oh, no.
My best snack at Epcot is the whoopie pie at Sunshine Seasons.
All right, yeah, okay.
Which is a
I'm already conceding that you win, because I forgot about the whoopie pie. And
it's a red. She introduced me to
I
this
introduced him to him, yes.
It's a red velvet cake. With what kind of icing is that on there? It's very good
It's like
icing.
a cream and cheese, delicious icing. Oh my goodness, yes, it's so good. It's drool worthy. I'm telling you right now. If you haven't had the red velvet whoopie pie,
and it's a bargain, but it comes in at like $3.50.
Is that all it is?
It's cheap. It's Disney cheap.
It's Disney cheap. All right.
Not cheap.
No,
it's kind of cheap.
It's
affordable.
I'm going to concede he wins on this one if you haven't
Okay,
had
there we
the red velvet
go.
whoopie
Point for
pie.
Mike. No.
Point for Mike. Yeah.
So okay, you want to concede that one?
I'm going to concede.
Okay, we'll do
I'm
that.
going to concede.
All right, so we're gonna do this. All right, let's get somebody have a best snack for Epcot. Something we missed.
I think
What are we missing?
we got
What do you got, Princess?
a pretzel.
A pretzel. Now that's a solid, safe choice all the time.
In Germany, the German
Easy
pretzel.
to get if you need salt. Do you like a lot of salt or just a little salt?
A lot of salt.
Then you need a big soda.
Yes.
Right? But then you got to have the flashy Tinkerbell on it, right? That's right.
Yes.
That's like a $12 soda now.
That
and
is.
a $13 pretzel.
Yes.
You've just made a $25 Disney meal.
That's right.
All right. What's another
Right.
good snack at Epcot? Yes, just sir back there.
School bread.
I'm not a school
I'm
bread
not
fan,
either.
but I know a lot of people are.
I know. I'm sorry.
Who
I
likes
failed.
school bread? Who
I
likes
failed.
school bread?
School bread fans. All right. All right.
Norwegians in the house.
That's right. Right now, you got to get it out of a food and wine festival booth, basically, because the shop is closed for refurbishment. So.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because Chef Todd's sitting here like you guys are all wrong. You guys are rookies.
He's totally judging us right now.
They're
It's fine.
picking the wrong things. They're so basic. All right, let's go to Magic Kingdom.
All right.
Best snack in the Magic Kingdom. Should I go first?
I think you're gonna steal mine, so I'm gonna go first.
Okay, I got you.
Actually,
I got
no,
a couple.
I think I know what you're gonna choose. So I'm going with the All-American Sundae at the
Good
Plaza
choice.
Ice Cream Parlor. For those who haven't had this sundae, it's phenomenal. It is chocolate and vanilla ice cream. It's like a mini No Way Jose, by the way. So if you've been to Beaches and Cream and got a No Way Jose, it's a size that's, you don't feel guilty about eating the whole thing for. So let's just.
No, you could actually probably eat 2.
You could probably eat 2.
Maybe.
But, so it's chocolate and vanilla ice cream. Then there's chocolate sauce. There is peanut butter sauce, which peanut butter on ice cream is my favorite thing in the entire world. And then it's got peanut butter chips, chocolate chips, whipped cream, and a cherry. It is fantastic, I'm just telling you.
She's playing me wrong here because that's one of my favorite things.
I do know that's one of your favorite
that.
things. I do.
She knows,
See,
and it's
you got me on the whoopie pie, so I'm gonna win on this
I
one.
know. You're returning the favor.
I'm returning the favor.
It's very Instagrammable too.
It is very Instagrammable. Yes.
All right, so okay, so that was gonna be my pick. Let me think. New one. I'm going to a new snack.
New snack. Have you had it before? Because you can't
Twice.
cheat. Okay.
Sleepy Hollow, the churro ice cream sandwich.
That's a good choice.
It's both light and good.
That's true. Light.
It's lighter than the cookie ice cream sandwich because that's 2 gigando cookies.
It's probably true.
It's probably only 7,000 calories as opposed to 7,500. I don't know. It's crazy.
Well,
I don't like the carrot cake cookie. I can't eat it. How many people like carrot cake cookies? Because I know Lou got that all started.
The carrot cake
That's
cookie is
all
pretty
Lou.
awesome. Yeah.
From back in the day. But do you eat carrot cake cookies?
I do like the carrot cake cookie, but that's at Hollywood Studios. We'll get there.
That is, I know. That's what I thought. Yeah, is it at the Magic Kingdom?
No.
Oh, right, maybe.
No.
Let's just sneak it in. Everything's at the Magic Kingdom for
Everything
you.
is at the yeah.
You take stuff in your purse.
I do take stuff and put it in my purse.
All right,
That's
so what's some other good snacks at the Magic Kingdom? Let's get hungry before supper. What do you got?
Churros.
Yes. It's like the pretzel. It's solid. Any park, anytime. We need churros right now.
We do.
Yes.
Cheeseburger egg rolls.
I walked past that cart in Adventureland twice and didn't get them, and I'm regretting it every time.
I need to try the cheeseburger egg roll on my next trip.
Real quick, you had them obviously, right? Scale of 1 to 10. 10? 9?
11.
11. All right, so the cheeseburger churros.
Cheeseburger churros does not sound good. That sounds really gross. Don't go there.
That'll be a food and wine festival thing next year. Cheeseburger churros.
That'll be the next, food
Pretty
mashup.
The cinnamon roll Gastons, my breakfast twice this past trip.
We got one
So
more.
good.
Right there. Dole Whip.
We almost missed the Dole Whip.
We almost missed the Dole Whip.
What kind of podcast are we?
I don't know. We're terrible people. We're terrible people.
In our Facebook, we had folks offering up, what's that new thing in Fantasyland? It's like a Dole Whip. What is it?
The Peter Pan float.
Peter Pan float. You guys had it?
They make it at home.
You're making it home. All right.
All right.
Party at the Griffiths.
I'm going over. Brian likes key lime, so we're going to be over there the next time, I promise.
All right, so here we go. Are you giving up on this one or no?
No, I'm not conceding on this one.
Okay, we're going to go by audience applause.
Okay.
How many people say, out of the 2 choices that we had, we have the All-American Sundae, and I had the ice cream sandwich with the churro.
Yes.
So if you think out of those 2 choices you'd rather have the All-American Sundae, let's hear you.
Come on. Let's go. There we go.
You're not going to hurt my feelings because I know she's going to win on this one. The ice cream sandwich with churros. That's a win. Two to nothing.
All right.
I think we agree. You can't. Well, people probably were.
Hey, it is ice cream.
We're not getting into.
Both are ice cream.
We're not getting into politics. Good try, Jeff.
This has been an odd production. Thanks for watching.